What is up, everyone? Welcome back to day 42 of the 75-day hard challenge. Man, we're getting close to the end. We're literally just about a month away, which is pretty insane. Today is Thursday. It was a rest day, so no gym today, but did my push-ups and whatnot. And I want to talk about I guess, mental conflict that every entrepreneur goes through. Anybody who decides to go down their own path, do their own thing, they deal with this weird phase and these thoughts of like, what if you just choose the normal path, right? What if you just do something else? Like, one of my friends recently got a job, a good job, and like, it just makes you think. It's like, you have that safety, which I feel like as an entrepreneur, that's one thing that is always on your mind and always stressing you out, is that like, it's never like a guaranteed safety kind of thing, which is a great thing. That's why we do it in the first place, because that only means tomorrow could be 100 times better than today was. But at the same time, it also means that tomorrow could be 100 times worse, right? And I feel like until you reach a certain number that we all have, which is probably an absurd number, I don't know, a shit ton of money, you don't feel that safety. However, again, you won't get to that point if you don't go through this. So I know it's part of the process, but again, I'm just trying to say that I'm trying to talk about this because I know a lot of you guys will probably think the same. Because a lot of you guys might be a little bit earlier on in your journeys, and you might look at your friends who finish school and they get jobs, or your parents constantly telling you. And you got to realize, coming out of like university, right? People in the normal world will consider like a 50,000 salary, 40,000, 55,000, 60,000, I don't know, a great thing. And it is a great thing. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I was thinking about this because it's like, as you guys know, last month was my biggest month, right? We did over $30,000 in revenue, which is just an absurd number. But it's like, the person who is working at a job making like 5K, he probably feels a lot better than me. Because the way money works for me is it's so different. You know what I mean? Like, I have to take way more risks. I have way more pressure at the fact that nothing is promised, nothing is guaranteed. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not trying to complain in this video, but I had a talk with my friend and I was like, sometimes I wonder, it's like, bro, what if 2-3 years ago, I got a nice job in a nice field, and maybe, I'd be making 100K plus right now. You know what I mean? But then I'm like, and I cut myself off. I'm like, but that's just not me. Even today, it's like, I just can't imagine myself doing that. You know what I mean? It's not even about the job. I think I'd had fun. I've worked jobs and they're great. But I've always done something else. I've never just been doing a job. I've always doing something else so I can do that. So growth and failures and success, looking back on it, give me purpose. I guess give me me. They give me life. Maybe it's just how I was born, or maybe it's just because I've been down this path for so long. But dude, truly, it's like, even if I had a job, if I got offered today like 200K, maybe I'd do it. That's a lot of money. Right? 200K consistent. But at the same time, my 5 to 9s would still look the same. If anything, I'd work harder, I'd sleep less, I'd still work on my own business, I'd still do what I'm doing now. I'd just be way more dialed in, right? It'd have to be some insane number like that for me to even ever consider it. But anyways, I thought about that, and I'm like, you get that safety, whatever. But it's like, I'll never feel the same way. I'll be immune, I'll be emotionless. When I went for a walk today in downtown, and probably walked past 5,000 people, and they all look like the same. Work ended that time. It was like 4 or 5 p.m. And like, there's just thousands of people, trying to get home, and they're all carrying their bags, and they're wearing nice clothes, and they're just going home. And I was wearing my tech fleece and my pajamas, and I'm like, I'm in a way, I felt like first that I was like different in a bad way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody around me is in suits and nice clothes, and I'm just tech fleece, AirPods in, and I'm just vibing. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm probably in the position that all these people dream about. All these people probably wish that they didn't have to go to work and they could just live life on their own terms. Obviously, jump scared to them, like, it's not as cool as it is. There's a lot more behind the scenes. But I wanted to post this because a lot of you guys might consider that option. And I'll say this, that if you can't go to night sleep, like, if you can't sleep peacefully knowing that, if you just, I don't know how to say this, but think about it. Imagine yourself right now. Close your eyes. You had this job making 60K or something, 70K, right? And it's great. Let's say even if you're making nothing right now, you're making $1,000 a month. It's like, could you really live your life like that? Now here's the thing. There's a distinct difference. For me, I don't have to. That's how I went through, right? Initially, I did sales last year too. the only time working a job is okay is when your intention is to just maximize earning the most amount of money so you can actually continue to pursue your business or your dream. But a lot of people, they get stuck in this trap and they never get let out. There's so many people that are probably now in their 40s or 50s that once were 20 and 25 and 30, whatever, and had these big dreams, and they got stuck in this corporate world, and that's been their story forever. And I don't want that to be my story. And I guess that's the realization. I just had this deep thought. It's like, it's so scary sometimes, not knowing what tomorrow holds. It's so scary knowing that things are so quick for me, and like, I don't know, maybe in 2 years I won't be doing what I'm doing today, and it's like 2 years ago I wasn't doing what I'm doing today, but it's like, this is my path, this is my journey, this is what I have to go through. I just have to make the most of every single day. As an entrepreneur, I think that's the one thing you should live by, is living out your life to the max every single day, making most of the opportunities, making most of where you're at, right? I'm here, I worked hard to be here, where I am today, so I'm going to enjoy it as much as I can, and I'm going to make sure I do as much work as I can. Because who knows, like, again, even 6 months ago, right? For those of you guys who've been in the winner circle, like, I've probably been talking about this for months, but it's like, now I'm actually here. It's insane. I'm actually here right now. I'm literally sitting on this couch right now recording this video. Like, it's really real. So it's like, I guess progress is being made, right? And I got to just trust myself and stay focused. And, whatever tomorrow holds is whatever tomorrow holds. I guess you just got to be smart with your money so you have that peace. I guess money is ultimately the reason why most people fail or most people quit. It's because, if you're making no money online right now and, you get a job offer for $4K a month, the whole $4K sounds better than zero. But the problem is that $4K isn't $4K. That $4K is a trap, because you might be at zero today in your own business journey, but in 2 years you could be at 10K. But that $4K, you'll be at that for, you won't hit 10K for 10 years or 15 years. And there will be some long 15 years because you'll think about that business every single day. You'll have that regret. So all I'm trying to say is I had certain thoughts, as I do every day, where I was like doubting myself, or not doubting myself, but just thinking like, how do I get, I guess it's just all about growth, right? It's like, I guess I'm at the point where I need something massive to like really, I guess, feel something. I feel like I've experienced what I'm going through and the position I'm in already. So now I need the next big high. Like, imagine a 5-figure day. That would be some crazy shit. Or like a 6-figure month. Like, that is some insane shit. You know what I mean? So I guess that's what it is. And this is normal. I record these videos because I want to show you guys the reality of, I guess, being in my position, even as somebody who's, I guess, now in the best position of his life. Like, this month we're already past 5 figures. We're not on pace to beat last month, but anything can happen at any point. I promise you. I literally promise you. And I'm so confident we will outdo last month. I feel like these next 2 weeks of this month will some crazy shit's about to happen. So I'm not too worried. But I guess I don't know. I was having that conversation, and it's funny, because with my friend that I'm talking about, they think the opposite, right? They want to do this. They're just working a job, but they don't want to work a job. They want to have their own business and travel and live life how they want to. So my message and my point in this video to conclude is, I'm very grateful for where I'm at, and I think you guys should be too. It doesn't matter whether you're at $0 or not. The fact that you've taken the step, the fact that you believe in yourself, the fact that you're even watching this video already says enough about you, and you're already on the right path, because these videos get 10, 20, 30 views. You know what I mean? So you're already a part of this small group that actually care about what I have to say, and I am nobody special. I am just a person who just keeps on going. Like, that's really it. I just don't give up. I just keep on going, and I truly believe anything is possible, and I'm trying to be a living example of that. And I guess the other message is, you will have those thoughts. Your parents will tell you, your friends will tell you, you'll feel this social pressure, especially when you're in your lows, and there'll be easier options, right? Like, it's always, and that's what I tell my parents. It's like, dude, if, worst case, I can always, get a job. I can always do that, right? But it's like, I know deep down in my heart, I'm just saying that, but I know it'll never get to that, because I'll never let it get to that, because that's not who I am. That's not what I want to be. I cannot imagine myself doing that, because every day I go to work, I clock in. Even if I'm making $50,000 a month, I'm still clocking in. I'm still working for somebody. I'm still not doing something that gives me passion. And I feel like, as much as we hate failures and lows, I feel like they're really what define us. They're really what challenge us to become better. And I guess I like the challenge. That's why I'm fucking here. Like, I guess as counterintuitive as it is, I guess I like the failure. I like to figure shit out. I like problem solving. I like to be in holes and build a ladder out. I guess that's what gives me purpose and fulfillment. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just tweaking, but yeah, I don't know, boys. I just wanted to lay out my thoughts. So I just want you guys to know, just follow your heart. Sometimes another way may seem easier and better in the present moment, but you want to think bigger. You want to really realize and imagine yourself doing that thing every single day. And you would live in that regret. You'd never want to live in that regret. At least, if you're doing something right now and you're failing and it's not working out, at least you don't live in regret. You just live in this fear and this worry, but that's normal. Everybody goes through that, but you don't live in regret. Not everybody lives in regret. And regret is like anti-life. We have one life, so why would you live in the opposite? Why would you not even live that life? I feel like living a life without regret is actually living. Living a life with regret isn't living. So, anyways, for me at least, I realized, I basically answered my own question. I just had to get it out. But I was saying, I'm like, yeah, as nice as that sounds, consistently getting a certain amount and having growth and not having to worry, I can't do it. I won't do it because I know I'm meant for more. I know I'm destined for more, and I will just follow my heart. And I know that things will work out. I trust in God. I trust in the vision. I'm doing the work every single day, and I know it'll all work out. It will. I just know. I have this feeling, and I am delusional, whatever you want to call it. I know it will work out exactly how it should. The fact that I'm here and recording this is already proof. And everything that's happened in my life is proof that it's working out. So I want you guys to know as well, it's working out. It's working out. It will work out for you too. I promise you. As long as you don't quit, as long as you really believe in yourself and that vision that you initially had and have hopefully today, and you just go at it every single day. You just go at it. No emotional attachment. And you just do it from like a place of you want to make progress, you want to make growth. It is happening. Sometimes for a long period of time, it might feel like nothing is happening. And then all of a sudden, kaboom, it all clicks. And then it happens again. And then you have these insane lows where it feels like everything's falling apart, blah, blah, blah. And as long as you don't quit, you'll figure it out. There's nobody that's successful that hasn't failed. And there's nobody that failed and quit that has become successful. So think about that. So anyways, that's it for me. I'm not going to be getting a JOB. I don't want to scare you guys. I just wanted to share that because I know I was like, if I'm thinking about it and I'm at this, stage of my journey that I always dreamed about, and I feel like it's a pretty pivotal stage. Like, as an entrepreneur, I feel like 100K is like a I made it moment. I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional. That's an insane number, but I feel like that's an I made it moment. And I guess I had a month that was 1/3 of the way there. And I know that a lot of people, including myself at, literally a year ago, was at that starting level where you're just here and there making some money, maybe a couple thousand, whatever. I know that when you're there, it feels like you have way more not doubt, but you have way more, it's way easier to pivot because you don't have significant results to stick with something. But I want you guys to know that I've only made it this far by sticking to my dream. And like I said, the only time I would agree and I would want you guys to actually get a JOB is if it makes sense and you're really doing it from a perspective of like you just want to get capital. But every day you still spend every hour, every second thinking, obsessing, and actually working towards your goal. That is the only time it makes sense. Do not get stuck in that trap, please. I know so many people who have, and once you're in, you'll never get out because you're comfortable. Comfortability kills people. And I guess I'm happy that I'm not comfortable because I'm very fucking uncomfortable. Every day I'm uncomfortable with the position I'm in. Whether, I guess, hopefully I'll feel comfortable at one point. But right now it's like, I just want to progress more. And I always feel like I'm not doing enough. And I want to do more. And I want to do more. Do more. And I will do as much as I can every single day. Because it makes me happy. I enjoy making progress. I enjoy growing. So I will do it. Anyways, this was a very interesting video. I just want you guys to know. Follow your heart. If you really have to get it, do something like that, go down the traditional path. It's okay. For the time being temporary, it's not wrong. I've worked at sales jobs and whatnot temporarily, right? So I can learn as much and make as much money as possible. But my ultimate goal, my dream has always stayed the true dream. All these entrepreneurs, so many of them, they've all worked at Walmart and all these jobs. And hey, sometimes you got to do that, but I'm against choosing an easy out. People who choose a career in corporate and stick to it because they failed or whatever, they're just finding an easy way out. That's really it. If I failed today and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go get a job and I'm working a job tomorrow. Okay, even if it's a great job, I wouldn't see myself as, I would see myself as a loser because I chose an easy way out. I failed once, so I'm going to quit. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people like the easy way out. don't like the easy way out. Choose the hard way, because not a lot of people will. And since not a lot of people will, you will be rewarded for choosing that way. So, anyways, I hope you guys got something out of this video. That's it for me. Day 42. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 43. And we are officially less than a week away from the AdSense payout. So very excited, very hyped. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace.